let's get some starts going. Check it out. So I'm super excited. Just saw over there what just came in. Nothing better than your new seed trays. I want to say they're called Windstream seed trays, which are air pruning and root pruning seed trays. Super excited. Got 10 of those and then a little tray for it to come under. Let's start some seeds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with a 5-gallon bucket of this sifted compost that went through the compost sifter. It's pretty dry because I had a tarp over it through the storm. So it's fairly dry stuff, and then I'm going to sift it even finer. All right, here we go. Here's the stuff, sifter. I already started doing some other things, but this is what we're talking about, how fine it gets things. Really fine. Soil, so that for the start for the blocks. So I got one 5-gallon bucket done, and look at this. Super fluffy. This is sifted wood chips and compost. And a little bit of sand from, the pile, but this is fluffy. So that 5-gallon bucket gave me 2.5 gallons of basically what I'm gonna use this for is for over the potted plants to put as a mulch layer over the top. Let's do one more 5-gallon bucket. And there you have it. 2 5-gallon buckets. That gave me pretty much probably 5 gallons of fine, fluffy, sifted stuff. And then the mulch to put over the containers. Let's start filling these trays. So I gotta say, man, these trays are solid. They are awesome. I'm super excited. They're really heavy duty, sturdy, strong plastic. They got big holes in the bottom so that when the root comes out, basically what happens is it hits the oxygen, and it's what's called air pruning, is the root will stop growing because it's not gonna grow in air. And then it'll start to send a signal back to the plants to say, you got to grow more roots. Some roots will grow out more 360 degrees. And then on the inside, you can see there's little slats here, which do the same thing. It prevents the roots from start to spinning and twirling and getting root bound. Super excited. Let me show you how I'm filling these. So first things first, I'm getting all the soil to one side. I'm gonna place this in. I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. But I grab some soil, throw it in, and I'm just throwing the soil and gonna cover it. Make sure all these cells get filled and covered. And then just start dusting it off. You'll notice the holes on the inside start to go through. And now I lift up there, then I take this bar and just make sure it's all level. Bar, it's a piece of wood, but it works. Then I'm gonna bring it over to this table. Look at that, I can hold this one hand. Here, And then I'm just gonna take both hands and then pop, 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 pop. Just pat it down 10 times. And you'll notice that it drops and it packs it all in to that 1/4 inch mark. I don't think I can do that one-handed. And there you go, all compacted down. I'm gonna get all of them done, and then I'll show you what we do next. All right, so all 10 are filled and packed. Let me show you what to do next. I ended up having to actually get a 3rd 5-gallon bucket. So note to self, it takes about 7.5 gallons to fill all these trays of finely sifted. So whatever that may come out to, it took me 15 gallons finely sifted, which came to about, half of it normally is this stuff. So half goes through, but that's with this specific pile now. So who knows what it'll be in the future. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna water it pretty well. I wanna get all that medium nice and wet. Let that soak in nicely. Let the rain fall down. Anyway. All right, let's get the seeds. So now that they're watered in, this is my lineup. I'm gonna start off with cilantro in this tray, spinach, Chinese cabbage, bok choy, some broccoli, mustards, plantain, bay leaf plantain, whatever that is, rakeo, kale, and bunching onions. That's gonna be interesting, but we'll see. So what I do is I get 1 seed in every cell, and then I use this stick, a twig of some sort, to kind of get in the center and then press it in a little bit, because I'm gonna move this tray again to be able to fill it. But that's the idea, is to get 1, maybe 2, depending on how big the seed is and what kind of plant it is. Ideally you want 1 per cell. I'm gonna get the rest of these guys seeded, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so everything is sown. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring each tray back over here and just put a very light, small layer on the top of it. So here we go. You can see all the seeds in there. And then what I'm gonna do, just gonna sprinkle a little bit over the top. Basically gonna fill each tray back up, because this is really fluffy stuff. So when I water it again, it'll pack down to about 1/4 inch, which is what most of these small seeds call for. So I love how it just falls through the center and just brush it off. Almost done with that one. What I'm gonna do is I have these trays here that it's gonna go into. So gonna bring it out, pop it in there. boom. Let me get the rest of them done. All right, they're all filled. I had to move one down. It didn't all fit on here, so I'll be building a new section, but either way, doesn't matter. Now all I'm gonna do is one more nice, just light water over the top. Don't need too much or nothing too crazy, because remember we already watered the bottom. Just getting it nice and moist. And there you have it. Boom. Well, I hope you learned something. Just remember, if you don't sow, you'll never harvest. Just remember to sow the right seeds, both in the trays and in your heart. God bless.